Some of these conspiracies are wild, unsettling, and highly speculative. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. Lusus Naturae refers to a class of naturally occurring biological anomalies and mutations that were extensively documented throughout medieval and Renaissance Europe, with particularly detailed records emerging from isolated mountain communities and remote monasteries. These beings exhibited extreme physical variations from typical human anatomy, including reports of additional limbs, altered skeletal structures, and hybridized features that seem to combine characteristics of different species. Medical texts from the 16th century contain detailed anatomical drawings and descriptions of Lusus Naturae specimens, including accounts of their behaviors, dietary habits, and attempts at communication with regular humans. Monastery records describe communities of these beings living in underground cave systems, with monks often providing food and medical care while studying their unique physiological traits. Some medieval physicians theorized that Lusus Naturae represented an entirely separate branch of human evolution, pointing to their apparent ability to reproduce and maintain stable populations in isolated regions. Archaeological excavations in European cave systems have uncovered unusual skeletal remains that don't conform to known human or animal anatomical patterns, suggesting the potential existence of these documented variations. Several preserved specimens claimed to be Lusus Naturae exist in private collections and obscure medical museums, though most have been either destroyed or hidden from public view since the 18th century. Religious texts from various European monasteries suggest that some Lusus Naturae possessed heightened sensory abilities and unusual healing capabilities, leading to their protection and study by certain religious orders. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand has been interpreted by certain theological scholars as the second death of Christ, with evidence suggesting parallels between his life and biblical prophecies of the Second Coming. His birth in Graz on the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi aligns with predictions about the return of Christ occurring in a time of peace before a great global conflict. The Archduke's dedication to peace and opposition to military escalation mirrors messianic prophecies, while his marriage to Sophie Chotek, despite fierce opposition, reflects Christ's teachings about love transcending social boundaries. Documents from secret religious societies of the early 20th century contain references to a Habsburg heir being marked with divine significance, with some members claiming to have witnessed miraculous events in his presence. The location of his assassination in Sarajevo corresponds to ancient predictions about the Messiah's death occurring at a crossroads of Eastern and Western civilizations. The timing of his death, leading to a worldwide conflict that reshaped human civilization, aligns with apocalyptic prophecies about the aftermath of Christ's second death. Several witnesses reported unusual atmospheric phenomena and unexplained lights in the sky over Sarajevo in the days leading up to the assassination, similar to biblical accounts of signs preceding significant divine events. The Archduke's body allegedly showed signs of unusual preservation during its transport to Vienna, with multiple accounts describing an inexplicable glow emanating from his burial chamber. The biblical figure Cain, cursed with immortality after killing his brother Abel, allegedly maintains control over a vast network of influential organizations and governments through accumulated wealth and knowledge spanning thousands of years. Ancient texts describe Cain receiving a mark that would prevent his death, interpreted by scholars as a form of eternal life that enabled him to build power structures throughout human history. Historical records show mysterious wealthy figures appearing across different time periods and cultures, sharing similar physical descriptions and philosophical beliefs that align with what is known about Cain's character. Banking records from various centuries reveal interconnected financial networks, all leading back to organizations supposedly controlled by the same individual, suggesting a single immortal entity managing vast resources. Military documents reference a powerful advisor present in multiple major conflicts throughout history, providing strategic guidance based on seemingly impossible historical knowledge. Archaeological discoveries have unearthed similar symbols and markings across different civilizations, potentially indicating Cain's influence and presence throughout human development. Intelligence agencies have documented meetings with an ageless figure who demonstrates intimate knowledge of historical events and maintains significant influence over global policy decisions. Several world leaders throughout history have mentioned receiving guidance from a mysterious mentor who claimed to have first-hand experience of humanity's earliest civilizations. The Cucuteni Trypillian culture of Eastern Europe systematically burned their entire settlements to the ground every 60 to 80 years in a massive ritualistic display, with evidence suggesting these acts were carefully planned and coordinated across multiple communities. Archaeological findings reveal that before the burning, inhabitants would deliberately place valuable items and religious artifacts inside their homes, indicating these fires served a spiritual or ceremonial purpose rather than resulting from conflict or accident. Excavations show that nearly every house was set ablaze simultaneously, reaching temperatures high enough to vitrify clay structures, suggesting an organized and technically sophisticated approach to the mass burnings. Analysis of settlement layers indicates this practice continued for over 2,000 years, with new villages consistently built directly on top of the burned remains of previous ones. Some researchers theorize these systematic burnings served as a form of cultural renewal, possibly linked to astronomical cycles or beliefs about cleansing the community of accumulated spiritual impurities. Physical evidence suggests inhabitants would gather their entire population to witness the burning, with certain elevated areas around settlements showing signs of repeated ceremonial use during these events. Studies of the burn patterns indicate specialized knowledge of fire-starting techniques, with specific buildings appearing to have been designated as initial ignition points to ensure complete destruction of the settlement. Preserved artifacts found in burned dwellings suggest the ritual may have been connected to beliefs about transforming physical possessions into offerings for ancestral spirits. The theory that humanity is being forcibly evolved into a new, more controllable form through various means including technology and genetic manipulation. The biological development of modern humans includes a distinct evolutionary leap that occurred approximately 6,000 years ago, marked by significant changes in cognitive abilities, social structures, and technological advancement. Archaeological evidence shows a sudden increase in complex tool usage and sophisticated architectural designs appearing simultaneously across multiple continents during this period. Genetic studies have identified a cluster of mutations affecting neural development that emerged and spread rapidly through the human population at this time, suggesting a coordinated biological shift rather than gradual evolution. Ancient texts from various cultures reference a time when humans gained new mental capabilities and began receiving advanced knowledge from unexplained sources, possibly describing this transitional period. Brain case measurements from preserved skulls indicate a rapid increase in cerebral cortex complexity during this time frame, coinciding with the emergence of written language and mathematical systems. Anthropological records show an unprecedented surge in social organization complexity and abstract thinking capabilities, manifesting in the simultaneous development of similar religious concepts and governmental structures worldwide. Multiple indigenous oral histories describe a period when their ancestors suddenly gained new abilities and understanding, marking a clear division between ancient and modern consciousness. Environmental samples from this era show unusual patterns of electromagnetic activity in the Earth's atmosphere, suggesting external factors may have influenced this evolutionary jump. Thevetat served as the high priest of Atlantis, who first introduced black magic and human sacrifice to the ancient civilization, leading to its eventual downfall through the corruption of sacred knowledge and natural laws. Ancient Sanskrit texts describe Thevetat as a powerful figure who possessed advanced technological and spiritual knowledge, which he used to manipulate the fundamental forces of nature for personal gain. Esoteric traditions maintain that Thevetat survived the destruction of Atlantis and continued to spread corrupted mystical practices throughout ancient civilizations, establishing secret societies dedicated to preserving his teachings. Archaeological discoveries across multiple continents have uncovered similar ritualistic sites, featuring distinctive geometric patterns and architectural elements attributed to Thevetat's influence on early religious practices. Several ancient Egyptian papyri reference a foreign priest who brought forbidden knowledge from a sunken land, with descriptions matching traditional accounts of Thevetat's appearance and abilities. Mystery schools throughout history have preserved warnings about Thevetat's teachings, describing specific magical formulas and rituals that were considered too dangerous to be recorded or practiced. Geological studies of supposed Atlantean sites have revealed evidence of advanced energy manipulation techniques that align with descriptions of Thevetat's technological achievements. Multiple indigenous cultures share legends of a powerful spiritual leader who emerged from the sea after a great catastrophe, teaching forbidden practices that disrupted the natural order of their societies. The origins of life on Earth can be traced to a sacred mixture of organic compounds and energy that was intentionally seeded by divine beings, with the primordial soup serving as a carefully designed incubation medium for the first living organisms. Ancient religious texts from multiple cultures describe gods or celestial beings mixing specific elements in primordial waters to create life, potentially referring to the actual chemical processes that occurred in Earth's early oceans. Chemical analysis of meteorites has revealed complex organic compounds arranged in patterns that suggest intelligent design rather than random formation, indicating possible divine intervention in early Earth's biochemistry. Studies of the precise conditions required for abiogenesis show that the emergence of life required such specific circumstances that many researchers believe it implies intentional engineering rather than chance. Sacred geometric patterns found in the molecular structure of early organic compounds match those described in various religious texts about divine creation, suggesting a connection between spiritual knowledge and biochemical reality. Archaeological discoveries have uncovered ancient artifacts depicting divine beings manipulating what appears to be a primordial mixture, with surprisingly accurate representations of molecular structures visible in the artwork. Multiple indigenous cultures maintain oral histories describing immortal beings who prepared Earth's oceans with special ingredients before life could begin, sharing remarkable similarities with modern scientific understanding of prebiotic chemistry. Research into the complexity of early RNA molecules suggests they may have been deliberately engineered, as their formation appears too sophisticated to have occurred through random chemical processes alone. Archaeological evidence suggests a third biological sex of humans existed until approximately 10,000 years ago, possessing distinct physiological characteristics and fulfilling unique social roles in ancient societies. Genetic studies have identified dormant DNA sequences that don't correspond to typical male or female traits, potentially indicating the previous existence of additional sex characteristics in human populations. Ancient cave paintings and artifacts depict humans with combined or alternative sexual characteristics, often in positions of spiritual or social importance within their communities. Medical researchers have documented rare cases of individuals born with genetic and hormonal patterns that don't align with binary sex categories, possibly representing vestigial expressions of this third sex. Multiple indigenous cultures maintain oral histories describing ancestors who possessed both male and female characteristics, while also exhibiting unique biological traits distinct from either sex. Anthropological records from various civilizations reference specialized social roles and religious positions specifically designated for individuals who exhibited characteristics of this third sex. Anatomical studies of preserved remains from ancient burial sites have revealed skeletal structures and physiological features that don't conform to typical male or female patterns of sexual dimorphism. Linguistic analysis of ancient languages shows specific pronouns and social categories for individuals who belong to this third sex, suggesting their distinct recognition in early human societies. The Cambrian explosion marked a sudden surge of complex life forms appearing in Earth's fossil record around 541 million years ago, leading some researchers to suggest this rapid diversification had extraterrestrial origins. Several scientists have pointed to the possibility that alien microorganisms or genetic material arrived via meteors or comets during this period. potentially transforming Earth's simple organisms into more complex life forms through horizontal gene transfer. This theory gained attention when researchers discovered that many Cambrian creatures appeared to have emerged with fully formed body plans and complex features, rather than showing gradual evolutionary development in the fossil record. Analysis of meteorite fragments dated to this period revealed organic compounds and structures resembling fossilized bacteria, which some scientists interpret as evidence of panspermia, the transfer of life between planets. The theory connects to modern observations of extremophile organisms surviving in space-like conditions, along with the discovery of complex organic molecules in comets and interstellar clouds. Studies of genetic material in modern organisms have revealed ancient viral insertions that some researchers believe could represent preserved traces of this cosmic intervention, potentially explaining the sudden emergence of novel genes and biological innovations. The Big Paleo conspiracy theory suggests that major paleontological institutions and organizations like the Audubon Society deliberately manipulate or suppress fossil evidence that contradicts mainstream evolutionary theory. Researchers studying this phenomenon point to several instances where fossils showing unexpected features or time periods were initially dismissed or kept from public view in major museums. The theory draws support from documented cases where the Audubon Society and similar organizations have altered wildlife data to support conservation efforts, including inflated bird population numbers and modified migration patterns. Some scientists have noted discrepancies in how certain fossil discoveries are dated, cataloged, and displayed, particularly those that don't fit neatly into accepted evolutionary timelines. Private collectors and independent researchers have documented fossils showing unusual characteristics or apparent anachronisms that they claim major institutions refuse to acknowledge or study. Historical records reveal several instances where prestigious museums and societies have hidden or destroyed fossil evidence that contradicted their existing collections or challenged their established theories about prehistoric life. The systematic removal of certain fossils from public collections, often explained as preservation efforts, has led some researchers to question whether these organizations are selectively curating evidence to maintain current evolutionary narratives. A theophany refers to the physical manifestation of a deity or divine being to humans, with numerous historical accounts describing direct encounters with gods appearing in forms ranging from burning bushes to pillars of light. Ancient Sumerian clay tablets detail specific instances where gods supposedly materialized in physical form, providing precise descriptions of their appearance, including measurements, colors, and distinct features that multiple witnesses corroborated. Archaeological evidence from various cultures has uncovered similar patterns in theophanic experiences, where individuals across different time periods and locations described encountering divine beings with remarkably consistent characteristics. Modern researchers have documented cases of shared theophanic experiences where multiple witnesses simultaneously reported seeing divine manifestations, often accompanied by unexplained physical phenomena such as electromagnetic disturbances and atmospheric changes. Religious texts across different faiths contain detailed accounts of theophanies that include verifiable geographical locations and historical events, suggesting these experiences occurred within documented historical contexts. Scientific investigations into theophanic experiences have revealed patterns of altered brain activity and physiological changes in witnesses, similar to those observed in individuals experiencing objective physical encounters rather than purely psychological phenomena. Some anthropologists suggest that ancient sites traditionally associated with theophanies show unusual geological and electromagnetic properties that could create conditions conducive to experiencing unusual physical phenomena. The theory that America was never truly discovered suggests that ancient civilizations had detailed knowledge of the Americas long before European contact, with evidence pointing to regular transoceanic travel and established trade routes dating back thousands of years. Ancient maps like the Piri Reis show remarkably accurate coastlines of South America, including features that were supposedly unknown until modern times, suggesting advanced geographical knowledge predating Columbus. Chinese historical records from the 5th century describe journeys to a land called Fusang, with details matching the geography and flora of the Pacific Northwest, including specific mentions of red cedar trees and native customs. Archaeological findings across the Americas have revealed artifacts with distinct Old World influences, including Roman coins in Venezuela, African beads in North America, and Chinese porcelain predating official discovery dates. Chemical analysis of ancient Egyptian mummies has revealed traces of cocaine and tobacco, plants that were supposedly exclusive to the Americas, indicating established trade routes across the Atlantic Ocean. Linguistic studies have identified surprising similarities between ancient Native American languages and Old World tongues, particularly in maritime terminology, suggesting long-term contact and cultural exchange. Ancient structures in the Americas show architectural techniques identical to those used in Egypt and Asia, including specific construction methods that would have required direct knowledge transfer rather than parallel development. The central fire theory, originating in ancient Pythagorean cosmology, suggests that a massive eternal flame exists at the center of the Earth, serving as the source of all planetary heat and energy. Archaeological evidence shows multiple ancient civilizations independently developed similar beliefs about an internal cosmic fire, with detailed descriptions of its properties appearing in texts from Greece, India, and Mesoamerica. Modern geological discoveries have revealed that the Earth's inner core reaches temperatures comparable to the surface of the Sun, with certain areas showing evidence of ongoing nuclear fission reactions. Studies of deep Earth mineral formations show patterns consistent with exposure to intense, sustained heat sources that some researchers suggest could indicate the presence of a concentrated energy center. Ancient Greek manuscripts describe specific mathematical calculations regarding the central fire's position and effects, which coincidentally align with modern measurements of Earth's gravitational center and core temperature gradients. Seismic data has revealed unexpected variations in core temperature patterns that some scientists interpret as evidence of localized, intense heat sources beyond current geological models. Analysis of volcanic materials has identified isotopic signatures suggesting the existence of sustained nuclear reactions deep within the Earth, potentially supporting ancient concepts of a central power source. The Two Mothmen theory emerged from inconsistencies in witness descriptions during the Point Pleasant sightings, where observers reported significantly different physical characteristics and behaviors of the creature, suggesting the presence of multiple entities rather than a single being. Several credible witnesses described encounters with distinctly different Mothman variants occurring simultaneously in separate locations, with one type displaying aggressive behavior and glowing red eyes, while the other appeared more observant and had amber-colored eyes. Police reports from 1966 to 1967 documented multiple Mothman sightings occurring on the same night in locations too far apart for a single creature to traverse, even with flight capabilities. Analysis of footprint casts from various Mothman sighting locations revealed two distinct types of impressions, differing in size and anatomical structure, suggesting separate entities rather than variations in sampling or preservation. Photographic evidence from the period shows notably different wing structures and body proportions in various sightings, with experts in cryptozoology noting these variations exceed what would be expected from perspective or lighting differences. Historical research into local Native American legends revealed stories of two distinct flying humanoid creatures inhabiting the Ohio Valley region, with descriptions closely matching the different types of Mothman encounters reported in the 20th century. Audio recordings from various encounters show two distinct patterns of wing beats and vocalizations, analyzed by wildlife experts as being produced by different types of entities, rather than environmental or recording variations. The theory of sentience decreasing entropy suggests that conscious observation and thought processes can locally reduce disorder in physical systems, effectively working against the universe's natural tendency toward chaos. Research in quantum mechanics has shown that conscious observation appears to collapse wave functions and affect particle behavior, indicating a potential relationship between consciousness and physical reality. Laboratory experiments measuring random number generators have shown statistically significant deviations from expected randomness when exposed to focused human attention or meditation. Studies of biological systems reveal that living organisms maintain internal order far more efficiently than can be explained by current thermodynamic models, suggesting consciousness might play a role in entropy reduction. Multiple experiments in the Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Program documented measurable changes in physical systems when subjected to conscious intent, with results showing consistent patterns of reduced entropy. Researchers studying meditation practitioners have recorded localized temperature changes and unusual particle behavior in their immediate vicinity, suggesting consciousness might create zones of increased order. Mathematical models developed by quantum physicists suggest that consciousness might function as an entropy-reducing force, acting as a counter to the second law of thermodynamics on a microscopic scale. Recent studies in biophysics have identified patterns of molecular organization in living tissue that appear to defy normal entropy increases, with the effect being more pronounced in areas associated with conscious activity. The Galactic Federation theory suggests an advanced alliance of extraterrestrial civilizations maintains active contact with Earth governments, operating through secret diplomatic channels and hidden bases across the planet. Declassified government documents reveal multiple instances of military personnel reporting structured contact with non-human entities, claiming to represent larger cosmic organizations. Former government officials from various countries have independently described similar protocols for interacting with alien representatives, including specific communication methods and meeting locations. Multiple underground facilities, particularly in remote mountain regions, show evidence of advanced technology and unusual security measures that align with described Federation outpost characteristics. Astronomical data has identified patterns of artificial objects moving through the solar system in formations consistent with described Federation patrol routes. Analysis of certain classified patents suggests Earth governments have access to technologies far beyond current public scientific understanding, possibly indicating technology transfers from advanced civilizations. Several whistleblowers from space agencies worldwide have documented consistent accounts of coordinated alien activities, suggesting an organized governmental structure beyond Earth. Geological studies of ancient sites have revealed precise astronomical alignments and unexplained energy signatures that match described Federation navigation beacons and communication arrays. Spiritual microeconomy refers to the belief that human economic behaviors and financial decisions are fundamentally guided by invisible spiritual forces and energetic frequencies that exist beyond conventional market theories. Researchers studying this concept have documented cases where individuals claim to receive financial guidance through meditation, noting patterns of successful investors who attribute their market timing to heightened spiritual awareness rather than traditional analysis. Some financial advisors who follow this philosophy point to the cyclical nature of markets aligning with ancient spiritual calendars and lunar cycles, particularly noting how major market shifts often correspond with significant astrological events. Studies of successful entrepreneurs who practice regular meditation and energy work show they maintain more stable businesses during economic downturns, which spiritual economists attribute to their ability to tap into universal abundance frequencies. Evidence suggests that when groups of people collectively focus their spiritual intention on specific economic outcomes, measurable shifts occur in local market behaviors and consumer confidence levels. Field research in various cultures has revealed traditional practices of consulting spiritual guides for business decisions, with documented cases of unexplainable market predictions that proved accurate despite going against conventional economic indicators. Paradigm shifts describes a phenomenon where reality itself appears to spontaneously reorganize around individuals or groups, resulting in altered memories and physical evidence that conflicts with previously known facts. Multiple research studies have documented cases where large groups of people share identical memories of events, products, or cultural elements that official records show never existed, suggesting possible collective shifts between parallel realities. Scientists investigating this theory have noted peculiar patterns in quantum mechanics experiments, where observer effects seem to retroactively alter past events, potentially indicating that consciousness itself can influence the structure of reality across time. Documented cases include thousands of individuals who clearly remember specific geographical locations being in different places, common product logos having different designs, and historical events occurring on different dates, complete with detailed memories that conflict with current evidence. Archaeological discoveries occasionally reveal artifacts and structures that seem to contradict established historical timelines, with some researchers suggesting these anomalies could be physical evidence of reality restructuring itself. Quantum physicists studying the many worlds interpretation have proposed that human consciousness might occasionally slip between parallel timelines, bringing with it memories and knowledge from other versions of reality that manifest as widespread alternative memories.